The Earth is about to be destroyed. Yes, all signs are pointing towards this conclusion. But before that, there is one thing we must do, and that is to discover the hidden truth of Nibiru. Yes, this mysterious planet has been the subject of much speculation and intrigue. But it is time we learn the real story behind it and how it will affect our world in the future. Get ready for an adventure that will take us to the very edge of our solar system and beyond. So buckle up and join me as we uncover the secrets of Nibiru. Before we begin, be sure to hit that like button for more videos. Now, let's dive in. The year is 2003 and a team of astronomers at the University of Toronto has just made a shocking discovery. They have found evidence of a strange object lurking in the outer reaches of our solar system. So far away that it takes more than 27 years for light to travel from it to us. The object is massive, with a diameter of around 6,000 kilometers and an estimated mass of over 10 billion kilograms. It doesn't quite fit the definition of a planet, since it doesn't meet all the criteria set by the International Astronomical Union. Nevertheless, astronomers are still eager to learn more about this mysterious entity. But this isn't the only unusual space rock discovered recently. There was also the 2004 VS2 comet, which was nearly twice as wide as our planet and flew past Earth in November of that same year. It was such a rare occurrence that even NASA took notice. And then, in 2019, another massive object entered our solar system. This time, it was an interstellar visitor named Borisov, originating from another star system altogether. All these objects share one thing in common. Their origins can be traced back to a distant icy realm known as the Oort cloud, a hypothesized shell of icy rocks and other debris surrounding our solar system. These discoveries have sparked a renewed interest in the possibility of undiscovered planets and other celestial bodies hiding in the outermost regions of our planetary neighborhood. But it's not just astronomers who are intrigued by the idea of a planet beyond Neptune. Conspiracy theorists have long been fascinated by the possibility of a hidden planet whose orbit takes it close to Earth every 3,600 years, bringing with it untold destruction and chaos. They believe that this planet, known as Planet X or Nibiru, is responsible for triggering major historical events and influencing the course of human civilization. In 2015, two amateur astronomers from Spain, Miguel B. and Sebastian G., proposed that Planet X could be the missing piece of the puzzle. According to their calculations, this hypothetical planet would have an orbital period of between 3,000 and 4,000 years. But it wasn't until 2018 that things really started to heat up. A group of researchers from the Institute for Celestial Mechanics in Vienna used mathematical modeling to support the existence of a rogue planet, 10 times the size of Earth, wandering through our solar system. And that's not all. If their calculations are correct, this rogue planet could be as close as 100 astronomical units away from us, meaning it could potentially enter the inner solar system at any time. The alleged discovery of Nibiru has been making headlines lately, but the truth may be far more complex than meets the eye. Let's start at the beginning. Nibiru is a planet mentioned in ancient Sumerian texts and is said to be home to the Anunnaki, a race of extraterrestrials who visited Earth in the distant past. According to Zechariah Sitchin, a writer who studied ancient Mesopotamian texts, Nibiru orbits the Sun on a highly elliptical path that brings it close to Earth every 3,600 years. Some conspiracy theorists believe that Nibiru is the key to understanding many of the world's ancient mysteries, including the construction of the pyramids and other megalithic structures. They also believe that the Anunnaki came to Earth from Nibiru to mine gold and other precious metals, and that they may return when Nibiru passes the Earth once again. However, despite its purported importance in ancient mythology and conspiracy theories, there is no scientific evidence that Nibiru actually exists. In fact, the idea of a planet with a highly elliptical orbit that comes close to Earth every 3,600 years does not hold up to scrutiny. The gravitational pull of such a planet would likely disrupt the orbits of other celestial bodies in the solar system, something that has not been observed. Furthermore, if Nibiru were to come close enough to Earth to interact with our planet's orbit, it would likely cause catastrophic damage, something that humans would not have been able to build civilizations in the first place. That being said, there are some interesting parallels between the supposed orbit of Nibiru and the precession of the equinoxes. A slow wobble in Earth's axial tilt that occurs approximately every 26,000 years. This wobble causes the Earth's poles to move around the sky, shifting the constellations and potentially influencing the climate and weather patterns on our planet. Some conspiracy theorists have suggested that the precession of the equinoxes may be related to the biblical story of the Nephilim, a race of giants mentioned in the book of Genesis. However, there is no scientific evidence to support this claim either. Despite the lack of evidence for Nibiru or the Anunnaki, conspiracy theories surrounding these extraterrestrials continue to persist. One of the most popular theories is the idea that the Anunnaki visited Earth in the past to mine gold and other precious metals, taking advantage of the planet's rich resources. According to this theory, the Anunnaki extracted the metals using advanced technology and then returned to their home planet. Some believe that they left behind genetic material that led to the creation of humans, while others argue that they simply observed our planet from afar. Another popular theory is that the Anunnaki were responsible for building many of the ancient structures found around the world, such as the pyramids and Stonehenge. Proponents of this theory believe that the Anunnaki possessed advanced technology and knowledge that allowed them to create these structures with relative ease. They suggest that the Anunnaki either built these structures for their own purposes or as gifts to the humans they had created. However, it's important to note that there is no concrete evidence to support either of these theories or any other claims about the Anunnaki and Nibiru. Despite this, people continue to be fascinated by the idea of extraterrestrial visitors and their potential influence on human history. Nibiru has been described as a planet of chaos and destruction, capable of causing widespread devastation wherever it goes. Proponents of this theory believe that the planet's orbit takes it close to Earth every 3,600 years, bringing with it a cataclysmic event that wipes out entire civilizations. They point to ancient texts and myths that describe a great flood or the destruction of cities as evidence of Nibiru's destructive power. However, there is no scientific basis for these claims. The idea of a planet that can cause so much destruction is purely speculative and not supported by any credible evidence. Moreover, the supposed orbit of Nibiru does not align with any known celestial body, and there is no evidence that such a planet exists at all. So is Nibiru real, or is it all just a bunch of space nonsense? The truth is, we don't know for sure. While there is no concrete evidence to support the existence of Nibiru, there is also no evidence to prove it doesn't exist. As of now, it remains a mystery. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. We would love to hear your thoughts. The alleged existence of Nibiru has captured the attention of many people around the world, some of whom believe that the planet's orbit is perfectly aligned with the precession of the equinoxes. This precession occurs every 26,000 years and causes the Earth's axis to tilt slightly. affecting the way our planet interacts with the sun and causing changes in the climate and weather patterns. Proponents of this theory believe that the precession of the equinoxes is somehow connected to the biblical story of the Nephilim, a race of giants that are said to have lived on Earth in the past. However, this belief is not supported by any scientific evidence. The precession of the equinoxes has nothing to do with the Nephilim, and there is no reason to believe that they ever existed in the first place. Nevertheless, people continue to speculate about the supposed connection between Nibiru and the Nephilim, despite the lack of concrete evidence. It's important to note that the belief in Nibiru and its connection to ancient myths and legends is not a new phenomenon. In fact, it has been around for centuries. Ancient cultures around the world had their own stories of celestial objects that influenced human affairs. And these stories often involved gods or other supernatural beings. However, these beliefs were based on superstition and folklore rather than scientific evidence. And they have no bearing on the modern belief in Nibiru as a planet that orbits the Sun every 3,600 years. Overall, the idea of Nibiru is a fascinating one, but it's important to approach it with a healthy dose of skepticism. While there is no evidence that Nibiru exists, there is also no evidence to prove it doesn't exist. Ultimately, it remains a mystery. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out more content. With that, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.